Hello and welcome to the tavern. Tonight, we introduce Gemma Gorokhoff, a transformational life specialist who has dedicated her career to helping women heal and transform from abuse. Her expertise lies in providing high quality interviews with a powerful and visionary woman who has overcome abuse and now is helping others do the same. In today's episode, Gemma will be discussing how to manifest love after a narcissistic abuse. Gemma, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? It is so good to have you on our show.
Thank you so much, Brandon. It's such an honor to be here with such an important conversation. Thank you for
Absolutely.
inviting me.
Thank you. And as always, our producer Landon, how are you, sir? Oh, you are muted. You've done this like four times.
Ah,
He was so ready.
hi, I'm Landon.
Time to reset, regroup. We
yeah,
got this.
yeah.
So
Hello.
there we go. Starting over. I want to say just welcome to everybody who's listening out there in the chat. Welcome to everybody on our reality stream, our entire tavern family. We want to thank you guys. I know specifically Miss Robot is out there listening and was very interested in this conversation. So don't forget to throw your comments out there, Miss Robot. We'd love to answer some of your questions on stream. Let's get things started. First and foremost, why did you start your show, Real Talk, Real Women?
I love your question. Thank you for asking. You know, I am victorious over 15 years of domestic violence.
Amazing,
Beaten
amazing.
down, raped, almost killed twice by strangulation. One story 5 years, one story 10 years. At the end of the second story, at the end of 15 years of domestic violence, I was so done. So I couldn't bear it anymore. It was too much. I decided to leave and to do something about that. And how to do something about that, the first big advice is that you can never leave during a fight, but you can not go home and
Yeah.
change your destination when you are out. That is a possibility that I never thought about. I did that. I did not go home. I went straight to the police and reported him.
I'm very proud of you. That takes strength.
However, that same evening, I found myself back trapped at home because it did not work out the way I expected.
Okay.
But I did report him. So that night, disgusted beyond disgusted, because I did leave, but it did not work, I decided to commit suicide to stop it. Didn't want to deal with it anymore. And actually, I wanted to rest in peace and I wanted to rid my body from the emotional pain that I was suffering. The truth is that I can be beaten, put down, raped, almost killed. The truth is that the emotional pain is the worst of all because it keeps on eating you from the inside. So I said, you know what? I'm living on the 10th floor of the apartment building. I'm just going to jump and bye. Let's call it a life. I did not even consider for real calling someone for help or calling the suicide hotline or anything like that. I did not.
I am
decided
so thankful that you did not do this
exactly.
because I wouldn't have you here today to share your story.
That is true. But there is something more. I did not count on God. And why do I say God? Because I heard the voice of God guiding me differently. But the choice of word, you understand that it's not any spirit able to communicate. The word were, of course you can jump. It's going to work. But I'm going to give you the same life in worse. Is that really what you want? I mean, Brandon, listen to those words. They are not bugging me to jump. They are not telling me that it's impossible, I will never dare. They're telling me, yeah, sure, this is a possibility. Here is preview of upcoming attraction. Here is your choice. Please choose life. So yeah, that you may leave. And I said, no, this is not what I want. I don't want the same life in worse. I want a good life or no life, but not worse. Okay, so leave by the door, tells me God. Leave by the door. Okay, it's 1:30 a.m. I have not slept an entire day, an entire night, an entire day, and we are in the second night, still not slept. And I leave. for real and for good. Brandon, this is the only time in my life that the door opened softly and silently and closed behind me softly and silently. Because two more info. Usually the door always make a click, a noise, something. And my ex-husband was blind, meaning with a super acute ear. So
Absolutely.
I couldn't hide anything because he couldn't see. He is beyond able because of the sense of hearing. I leave for real, for good, 1:30 a.m. and I don't know where to go. And this is where I meet and I find actually 2 weeks prior I met that amazing good guy who just lost his mother from suicide for real. Also from jumping from the building. And I realized that as he now is alone because there is no crazy mother anymore, maybe, just maybe, I could crash on his couch 1 or 2 nights a time to figure it out because I just don't know where to go, what to do. I mean, I took nothing with me. Long story short, I actually met my third last and dream husband, Sasha, who is the absolute epitome of love, care, respect, attention, empowering, uplifting, healing. I mean, I cannot hope for better.
Yeah.
So I did manifest love after narcissistic abuse. I did that. This
Literally, you did.
Experience. Wow. So all of that, the story backs almost 10 years on June 15, 2013. We are now almost 10 years later. Last year, 2022, I finally raised to the challenge. And I said, okay, I'm going to start talking about real talk, real women. I'm going to do it. And we're going to interview strong, powerful, visionary women who have prevailed over abuse, sharing their story, inspire victims hiding in plain sight, so that together we might elevate.
Absolutely.
So this is how that show came to me.
I'm very proud of you for telling your story and for helping other women because narcissistic abuse is not easy. It is not for the faint of heart. And if you've been through it, you know exactly what I mean because that kind of mental abuse not only takes a toll on you mentally, physically, spiritually, there is scientific studies that prove it develops your brain differently. The chemicals that are produced literally change your way of thinking, and it causes memory loss. There's so much. It shows that short-term memory in someone who's been through narcissistic abuse is drastically reduced, and I don't even know where to begin with that because I know people who are very close to me who have been through very similar situations, and it's that emotional pain that can be the worst part. And sure, anybody can get slapped around or hit or thrown, and those bruises will heal after a day or two, but that emotional scar will always be there. It doesn't go away. You can move on from it. You can, learn from it, most importantly, but you can't forget it. It's there. And that's something I don't think people realize, that words can hurt that bad, especially when you're made to believe them every day for an extended period of time. You start to believe it when you shouldn't, but that's what they're good at. That's what a narcissist is really good at, is making you feel like it's your fault no matter what you do. And that is terrifying. They change your perception of reality. It is terrifying.
It makes you doubt yourself.
Absolutely.
It breaks your identity. You lose your identity.
Yes.
You don't even know how you like to eat.
Yes.
You don't even know what kind of movie you want to watch or what kind of music you want to listen to. You don't know those things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
These are the first thing you relearn after you leave.
Exactly.
Now you are alone. And what are we going to eat? Well, I have to decide, but I don't know. I can go with anything. What do you want?
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well, actually. Well, let's move on to that next question that we've got for you. But you've kind of actually answered that. What is the first step that someone can take when trying to manifest love after narcissistic abuse? What is that first step they can take?
Dream it.
Okay.
Dream it. Imagine it. I have dreamed for 1 year, for actually 13 months. I have dreamed, fantasized, imagined, made real in my imagination, real love. And I had a friend whom I was asking, how how would you react in that set of circumstance? I forget the milk, and this was just for the milk that I went to the grocery store. How would you answer if you would be my husband back home and you would be upset, of course? So what? And when I heard the answers, it started to build another set of answers than the usual outrage and belittling and name calling that I was used to. You see. So dream it is the very first step. Because the fact of dreaming it, you are creating your next reality. You are creating it, the next stage of your life. And the more you dream it, the less you can handle your impossible current life.
Absolutely.
And once you cannot hold it anymore and you have that dream, then there is a break. And the real break is that you are not going to go back. Even though the truth is that for 2 months after I left, the pullback was very, very strong. And it took a lot of
I'm
courage and it took a lot of presence and support from my now husband, at that time friend, support, mentor, to tell me, you really want to go back? Okay, so come to me and let's talk to me about your feelings and what's going on and everything. No, don't go back now. You have better to do. Change route, come to me.
yes. That's like
And I was like,
how I mentioned I have close friends who have been through this. There were nights where they would come to work. I work night shift, and they would come to work and just their hands shaking all night long, trips to the bathroom and vomit, come back out and still, in tears, still doing their job, but crying the whole time and apologizing to everyone around them. Stop looking at me. I know I'm in tears. Just let me work. And it was like that for like 2 months. It was bad, and it's terrifying the kind of things people will go through after all that.
yeah. And the
But
truth is that the best you can do in that case is to keep her at work.
exactly.
Him at work.
Showing up to work was a good decision. Even if you're an emotional wreck, not being in the house by yourself, because the amount of time that was spent at home alone, because at that point, you're no longer with that person. So you're essentially by yourself with your own thoughts. And that is the scariest part, is to sit alone with your own thoughts. One of the biggest transformational things for them was, instead of being in the house alone, they would go out on hiking trails alone. Better to be alone in nature with something beautiful than to be at home alone in your thoughts, right? So that was helpful for them.
Amazing. Yeah, and that's a good solution for more reason than not being alone with your own thoughts. You are actually activating your entire ability to think. You are oxygenating your body, your heart, your brain, your thoughts. You are opening up to possibilities because you are potentially meeting the right people. We were talking about manifesting love after narcissistic
Yes.
abuse. That's one of the ways. That's one of the possibilities.
And one of the beautiful things is when that person that you're dreaming of comes into your life, it in itself is transformative, because you almost can't believe that someone is willing to do those things for you without needing anything reciprocated. They just want to because they care about you. And you're like, you can be nice to me? You're not mad at me for having feelings? And that's a big one, is because you're so used to everything being your fault that you don't want to voice your opinion when your feelings are hurt. But then they're like, no, it's okay. Like, your feelings are valid. It's fine. And you're like, what do you mean? Like, this is not normal for me. And it's such a transformative experience when you find that person that's willing to love you the way you want to be loved, unconditionally. And I mean that word literally, unconditionally. There are no conditions to why they love you. They just do. And you can find that. That is out there. That is real.
Totally, totally. When you meet unconditional love, you have the blessing of your life because you have now a window to learn how to love and be loved in a healthy way.
Yes,
That is something to learn. It is not innate, especially when you have been broken the way you have been broken with narcissistic abuse.
exactly.
Not easy.
It's not easy. It's really not.
You know, one of the things I have recognized, and that is a big confession, um, I have been so used to be narcissistically abused, so used to that when I met Sajda, my beloved, for the first years, and it's not just one or two, I would say the first 5 years about that, I recognized afterwards, when looking back, that even though I loved him from day one, I loved him for me, not for him. And that was very similar to narcissistic abuse, but learned behavior, not the disorder. And after 5 years, I reconnected with self-love, like really understanding that he can tell me he loves me everything. If I keep on dismissing it by saying, yeah, I just say just that because I don't know, because you just married to me, I don't know, something like that, like not valuing I love you, that is suddenly a life opener. When self-love comes into play and rebalance the way you feel about yourself, then when your significant other gives you love and gives you attention and gives you respect, then you receive it because you feel that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That has been transformational in itself. But the 5 first years, what I do recognize, and that's a big confession, is that I did commit, quote unquote, narcissistic abuse against him. And he is still suffering afterward the consequences now. And we are 10 years together. So I'm getting better and better, that is a fact. And I learned how to ask and to be interested in him for him. And that has been one of the big learning curve. To discover what he likes, even though some of the things I just don't connect. But that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it is.
Learn, hear, get interested, discover, acquire knowledge about it,
Yes.
and see how that feels, and ask questions instead of judging. And that is in the process of learning how to love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
It is a long, hard journey and worth every second. You're absolutely right. So, what role? I guess we talked about that actually. Man, we're covering all these questions. That's awesome. What are some common patterns and behaviors that someone who has been through narcissistic abuse may exhibit in their romantic relationships?
Discounting ourselves.
Yep, that is a hard one.
Yeah, discounting ourselves. That is the biggest one. Wanting to get our way and fearing the answer, even though he's just an angel, even though he's not dangerous. Fearing to upset him, that's not him. It's about my memory of what happened before.
Very true.
So doubting ourselves, keep on doubting ourselves, because the emotional scars are very, very deep. It doesn't feel like it doesn't look like it. It's very real though.
Yeah, those emotional scars, they hit harder than any punch ever could.
Yeah. So the real solution is really love, self-love, and love the other. That is really the solution. And then another thing that I discovered with my beloved, be okay to disagree.
Yes, it's okay to
It's
agree.
okay. You don't have to agree on everything.
You don't.
If it is not life changing, such as I want kids, I don't want kids, well, that is not compatible, okay. But you don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to. You can still love each other. You don't have to be mean and to peck at each other in a way that is detestable. Not necessary. It's okay, you think pink, I think blue. So what?
Yeah, at the end of the day, why does that matter?
Exactly. If you ask that question, you get to checkpoint.
Exactly.
You can say, okay, you know what? You like that, I like that. Well, one day you have yours, one day I have mine, and voila.
Yes. But what is so hard about something simple as, well, what do you want for dinner? And person wants chicken, other person wants steak, and you argue, well, I want to go both places. Go both places. Make each other happy. It's not that big a deal. Go both places.
Exactly. Or buy a chicken, buy a steak, cook both, and serve everybody exactly what they want.
Exactly. It is totally worth it. If you love that person, it is worth the extra 10 minutes it took to cook their piece of chicken too.
Yes.
It is worth it.
Yes. 100%.
You like Coke, she likes Pepsi? Put Pepsi in the fridge. It's okay.
It's good. Seriously, these are little things that change a relationship forever after.
It really does. It's a big thing.
Wow.
So what advice would you give someone who feels like they are constantly attracting the wrong partners?
Become the partner you want to attract.
Ooh, I like that.
Because you are going to attract yourself in someone else. So start by do your inner work in yourself so that you become the attraction point is you. That's it. So
Yeah.
understanding that if you keep on attracting the wrong answer, if you keep on having the wrong person, that means that your attraction point is not right.
Yes.
So change your attraction point. Oh, now it works. Magic. It's as simple as realize that, but as hard as that too.
It is hard. It sounds simple on paper, but like changing who you perceive yourself to be is a challenge.
So how to change how you perceive yourself to be? You know, identity is built upon habits of thoughts.
Habits of thoughts.
So what are you thinking about most of the time? Are you thinking that you are frankly out of the wazoo and totally not right and so done? Or are you thinking that you are such the favorite son or daughter of God? What do you think about yourself? What story do you tell yourself? Do you pat yourself on the back? Hey, I did it, yay, reward. Or do you say, hey, I did not do anything today, even though, yeah, you did like 20 of whatever, and then you were expecting to do 30, so say, yeah, I did not do the 30, I'm totally. What's that? Hey, I accomplished 20. Start to change the way you look at yourself so that your point of attraction becomes a point of satisfaction, of love, of reward, of joy. And from that point, look at who you attract. Oh, that changes. Oh,
Be good because it's going to be exactly what you want. You're going to attract exactly what you want because you are becoming those things. You know, like I said, with that friend who was going through all that stuff, she was dealing with the fact that, you know, like, okay, the depression is setting in, the house is getting messy, the laundry's piling up, you know, the dishes aren't getting done. And so every day she would pick one task, not the whole house, but one task, and then just be proud of herself for doing that one task. Like, I got up today out of the bed and I took a shower today. I'm proud of myself for that. You know what? I washed half the dishes today. I'm proud of myself. I did a whole load of laundry today. And then it slowly transformed into, I did the laundry and I folded it today. I washed all the dishes today. You know what? I vacuumed the house today. I did all those in one day. And it's transformative when you start being proud of yourself for the small things. You know, because it is okay to be proud of yourself for just getting up and taking a shower today. Did you brush your teeth today? I'm proud of you. Because that's more than a lot of people have done. You know, did you just survive today? Did you not do that thing that you said you were going to do today? It's okay. I'm proud of you because you didn't. You are still here, and I'm proud of you for just being here. There's a lot of things to be proud of, even when you don't think they are. Did you wake up today and you didn't cry today for the first time in 2 weeks? I'm proud of you for not crying today. And something else that she was saying was helpful for her was to speak it, to talk about her problems until she found, as you said it out loud, what made you cry. That's the thing you need to work on. If you're saying, oh well, I don't love this person anymore and it doesn't hurt. This person's not my friend anymore. Ooh, now you cry. That hurt to say that out loud. Well, now that's what you need to focus on. And that helped her go through the stages of grief and figure out where she was on that journey of self discovery and what still hurts and what doesn't hurt anymore. So when you can say it out loud and you don't cry immediately, you're doing pretty good. So the next thing that makes you cry, well, now start focusing on it and work through that mentally. But it was really good for her. Oh,
Hey,
Landon.
Hey.
Oh, we're at the 25-minute mark, aren't we?
Yep.
Time for
So, Gemma, I just want to say that this question has been used on me 3 times, and I'm the one who created the question, and I've tripped up on it every time. But good luck, have fun. It's not a hard question, but here it goes. So, what is one question that you wish we would have asked you, and how would you have responded to that question?
funny enough, that was the last question I asked my guest today. Ha! So funny. Okay, so what is a question you did not ask me today that I wish to answer? Um, that's a good question. Yeah, today you tricked me. Ha!
You see, and you used that question already on another episode, huh?
Yes.
It puts you on the
It's
spot a
been
little
done
bit.
3 times on me, so I feel your burden.
Okay. What is your accent?
Ooh, I'm
My
going to guess. So let me preference this by saying, I years ago dated a girl, and her nickname was Tall, Blonde, and Danish. Are you from Denmark or Sweden, Finland, somewhere right in there?
Switzerland?
Switzerland, you got it.
Ah, close. Okay, I was close.
Switzerland, you got it. And it's a French accent from Switzerland.
I got you.
Nice, good
Yeah.
choice. I enjoy that. It's an accent I haven't heard in years, and it's very similar. And especially like, so her grandmother, wonderful woman, absolutely loved her. And for years, even after we weren't together anymore, she would constantly send me down sweets. And wonderful family. They were fantastic. So if you're listening out there, this one's for you. Hey, so
Amazing. Thank you. Guys, it has been an honor, a pleasure to share the stage with you today.
absolutely, absolutely. If you had to give a final statement to our audience, what would that be?
Love yourself so that you can love others.
I agree. I wholeheartedly, and that's simple to the point, and it's powerful. That's You have to start with self love. Self love is so important, and a lot of people forget that self love is important, and they get so wrapped up in self doubt they forget self love. But you got to, you absolutely have to. Landon the man, what you got? Any final words for our audience tonight?
Well, I just want to start off by saying, Gemma, we've had to reschedule this multiple times for nefarious different things, but we are so glad that we were able to have this conversation with you today. I think it's inspiring what you do, because there's a lot of women out there that don't actually speak up about the abuse that they've been through, and they suffer alone for it.
Yep.
They don't talk about it or anything, and bringing it to light is an empowering thing, because not only do you get to help yourself by talking about it and being able to push through and really understand because of the words coming out of your mouth that you've gone through this and that you survived, but it also helps other people who are starting to go through this and maybe helps them take steps needed for them to get out and to, embolden themselves as well. To our listeners, we appreciate you for listening to us here at the tavern. We love you. We thank you. Um, I know my face isn't shown very much, but understand that I am still here and I am for you and will for always be for you. And that's all I got to say.
Amazing. Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Brandon.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure having you on. To our tavern family out there, we love you. You guys are amazing. Thanks for being so dedicated and always, always, always showing up for us. You know, for example, Chloe, our consistency with a K. I saw you out there in reality. I know I didn't get to shout you out tonight, but don't think I forgot about you. We have a tavern family that's super strong and it always shows up. You know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights. You guys can find us. That is, please, this is a place of love. This is a place of safety. Is your social battery at zero? Come hang out at the tavern. You don't need to go out to the bar with your friends. You don't need to get out of the house. You can curl up in bed with a nice drink, a nice snack, whatever it is that helps you calm down, and you can come hang out with us. You can learn a little something. You can ask questions in the chat, and you can be part of a group of people that genuinely care about your mental health, genuinely care about who you are, and you're welcome here. You are part of our hashtag tavern family. We truly mean that. We want to get to know you. We want to get to talk to you. We want your story and we want to help you in any way we can because we've probably been there too. And if we haven't, well, teach us. Let's learn together because we would love to hear your story. But as always, thanks for stopping by the tavern.